Use your horn, mate. That's what it's there for. So in one of my last videos I was discussing road profiling, profiling all of the different things on the road that are a risk to you, and how it's different depending on the country you're in. So I thought I would just give out a few of the problems that you might encounter if you were to come to Istanbul. So the number one problem you'll encounter in Istanbul as a foreign rider is mobile phones. Now, when I say some others, you may think, oh, surely that's higher, but honestly, mobile phone is the biggest problem because of the effect it has on their driving. It is actually illegal here, but they don't care. There's no enforcement, so it's awful. It's, as I've mentioned before in previous videos, it's awful. But it's like being behind a drunk person. So you can't get angry at it because your instant reaction will be to go ballistic at them, to shout and scream and tell them to get off the phone, and they'll just look at you like you're from Mars. There's just no... Anyway, so that's number one. Number two, signalling, manoeuvring, lane changing. Very rarely do they use their indicators. If they do use their indicators, they're usually in the wrong direction, and they change lanes in non-predictable ways. They use junctions the wrong way. They do not know how to use roundabouts and use them in the wrong way. They frequently run through red lights. They frequently reverse the wrong way up highways, up junctions. They frequently come to a complete stop and get out of their car to do something. I mean, it's... maybe that's one thing, but I put that all under safe manoeuvring. I put that all under safe manoeuvring. Safe driving. If you're wondering why I'm going a bit slow, it's because I'm just put some new oil in it. Refreshed all the oil, and go too fast on this bike and it starts consuming oil at the same rate it consumes petrol. I just want to give it a little while to lubricate the bike up a bit. I'm also set my maximum speed today at 90 kilometers an hour so that I can test this fuel pump, this new fuel pump I've got. Test its fuel efficiency. Number three. I don't know actually. Those two pretty much cover it. Oh well, as a foreigner, the accident procedure here, this is actually quite important to know. So in the United States, for example, if you have an accident, if you drive away, ride away or something, I believe that's a crime. Pretty sure it's the same in the UK. Here in Turkey, if you have an accident, okay, so there's various degrees of accidents and it depends on you and the other driver. The general rule is, if you and the other driver are able to come to an agreement about how the accident occurred, and then use this special paper which everybody has to document it, a policeman is not required. If somebody is dead, then a policeman will be required. If an ambulance is required, more likely than not a policeman will come as well, although not necessarily all the time. What you have to do is, you will be given a piece of paper, a traffic accident report piece of paper. There is also an example piece of paper that shows you how to fill it in. I recommend having that as well. it is even easier for you to fill in as much of your details as possible beforehand, so that on the side of the road or whatever, if it's an easy accident, you don't have to. I should also state that for the vast majority of accidents, so all the accidents I have had, and I've had 2 or 3 here, I've had none before, I've had 2 or 3 here, none of them have required to fill out that piece of paper. The damage has been so small that there's been no point in making an insurance claim. There's been no point in doing anything else. Apart from that guy who ripped his front bonnet off, bumper off, I suspect he didn't have any insurance, or it was something was illegal about it, and so he didn't care. It was his fault as well, so he knew that it wouldn't be my insurance company paying, it'd be his. So basically, yeah, you don't have, it's not a legal requirement to fill out that report, but if you're going to be claiming, then yes, fill it out. If you're going to make a claim to your insurance form, fill it out and get the other driver to fill it out as well. Draw the drawing properly, make sure your reports match, okay, and then you can submit it. Alright, get all their details, check their driving license properly, you check it, check the Turkish ID card properly, make sure it all matches. Once you've done that, then you're in a position to move away. Now, if your vehicle is still in working condition, then obviously off you go. If your vehicle is not in a working condition, then obviously if you've hired it, you'll call a hire company and they'll come and collect it. Or you can ask the policeman to help you out, and they'll give you a number to call. If it's a motorcycle, it'll probably be like a transit van. If it's a car, it'll be a proper tow truck. And that's it really, off you go. The equivalent of speed cameras here is called, you'll see a sign, it says EDS. I think it means electronic, no, it doesn't mean electronic defense system, but that's what I remember it as. But it's electronic something or other. 90, you naughty boy. Yes, so if you see a little sign with EDS on it, then that means that either the lane on my right has a camera watching it, and if you go in it, it will snap your number plate and give you a ticket and a fine, or the traffic lights have a camera on it, and if you attempt to go through the red light, it will take a picture and you will receive a fine. Not many of them have that, so as I said, there aren't a lot of speed cameras here, so you don't have to worry about that. But just be aware, if you see that, don't jump through the light. It doesn't matter if other people are doing it. People here do it because they don't have real number plates, because they know somebody in the traffic police or whatever, so don't fall into that trap. Oh, he did it, I'll do it. If you see that sign, do not go through. Any others I can think of? Okay, so police vehicles here in Turkey, how to deal with them. I think I mentioned this in a previous video, but I'll mention it again quickly. Police motorcycles, be careful. Don't blast past them. Don't, treat them like they're not going to react to you. Police cars, the vast majority will not react to you. Having said that, still don't blast past them at like 180 kilometers an hour. But you can overtake a police car. If you've seen on my videos, you will notice many times I am overtaking or undertaking police vehicles. I do it generally in a controlled manner, and I don't take the piss. But once I've gone past them, then I'm free to accelerate. What do I mean by this? Why am I saying this? Because generally the speed limit in Istanbul, at least, in the big cities this is, big cities, the speed limit isn't strictly enforced because there's so much traffic. They kind of say, okay, well, we kind of understand if there's no traffic, people are going to blast it a bit. So they kind of let you get away with it a bit more. If you move outside of Istanbul, that's definitely not the case. So outside the bigger cities, they'll be like, nope, you'll get fined, you'll get stopped straight away. So in the big cities, you're not so bad. Outside them, you are. So just a thing there. And then also, for anybody, the police here do carry guns, all of them, and yeah, that's it. I mean, because in England most of the police don't, so just don't be surprised when you see the policemen here with their guns.